To start with, I would only submit that by now we have been able to understand that it's not the government alone which can do everything. We have many examples outside the country, in different countries of the world, where we find that a lot of many things such as education, health, transport, postal authorities and things like that are in the private domain. They are not in the government domain. Maybe perhaps because of the fact that there is a certain amount of competition involved there, and they always try to improve the delivery of services which is there for the citizens. And therefore, so far this sector of education is concerned, it is good that private sector also is involved, both at the school level, at the primary level, at the middle level, at the secondary and higher secondary level, as well as higher education. These are the different layers of education in the country. And when we say that education is the backbone of democracy, perhaps we forget that it is not a question of giving degrees, undergraduate and postgraduates. It is only inculcating the spirit of democratic values and secular values in the citizens of the country, which becomes important so far the contribution of education is concerned. Now, taking it from that point of view, the domains are different. A school education, then vocational training, these are the three divisions which have been made here in this summit. A school education, or primary education, the vocational education, and the higher education. I don't think this is a correct differentiation. What it should be there is a school education and vocational education should be dovetailed with primary education. I can say with confidence and with my own experience that we were trying to have maximum number of enrollments at the primary level, because by now free and compulsory education up to 14 years of age, free and compulsory education up to 14 years of age, that is the right of education. That is not the problem. Problem is not that the people want that there should be education for them. The problem is that when a child of 9 years or 10 years goes to the school, he loses getting 50 rupees at the end of the day and bringing it to the family. With the result, he prefers to work in a lathe machine in the locality than to go to the school. The other attraction was that midday meal. So what used to happen was that when I started this as a crash program in the walled city, the students 100% enrollment was done. What 65% left out, they dropped out. What they used to do, they used to come, they used to have the midday meal and run away. Then what we did is started doing is that we involved some of the voluntary agencies in that area, non-government organizations, and they started having these programs for them. Now they work for the whole day there, and for some time only they come for this education, and they earn 50 rupees. At the end of the day, they attend the training programs also, and at the same time they go for school education also. So education for all can be a slogan. For the primary education, all right. But so far higher education is concerned, I am personally not in favor of education for all at all. It has to be a selective process, and it is only some of the people who can be propped up for purpose of higher education. Now what has happened today is, you know the scenario. The scenario which was used to be there for BA, Bachelor of Arts students. Thousands of them are there in the society. None of them get employment. And that is what is happening with MBA now. MBA equal to BA now. MBA is equal to BA now. Believe me, there are hundreds and thousands of MBAs who have got degrees from mushrooming growth of institutions, which in Delhi particularly is in every third lane. There is a management institution. Now there has to be government. There has to be some regulatory body. They have got to make sure that this mushrooming growth of the management and science and technology institutions has stopped forthwith. And that is why it has to be a holistic approach and an integrated approach, where it is not the responsibility of government, it is not the responsibility of NGOs, it is not the responsibility of social activists. It is also the role of the industries, and industries in this sector, which is known as the the extra responsibility which has cast on the shoulders of the industries, that is the corporate social responsibility. Now, taking all these stakeholders together, there has to be an action plan. If there is an action plan which is prepared by an industry, say of a software company which Madam had just spoken about, or if it is an action plan, even if it is prepared at the level of the Government of India, if it doesn't take into consideration the pulse of the people, the happenings in the society, the institutional follies which are being done, then that will be, it will not be a total project. If it has to be total project, it has to be when all the stakeholders are taken together and there is an action plan, maybe either of the Government of India, maybe the NGO, maybe any software company or many IT companies. Now, when I was saying that the MBAs are equivalent to BAs, one of the reasons is that, what are the challenges? Challenges are that there's no rationale about the number of students who are coming out of these universities. So mushrooming growth of these industries must be stopped forthwith. And only some of those who are capable enough, who are fit enough to be propped up for management courses or for science and technology courses should be allowed to go for that. And then, what is this? Why do we think only in terms of employability after a particular undergraduate degree or postgraduate degree? That is not the only objective. The objective should be research-oriented education. And that is what Madam also has mentioned when she gave her initial presentation here. I am also of the firm opinion that it is not only you carry it forward with the employability only, and you should only have that much number of people who pass out as management students or science and technology students as can be employed. There are other sectors also. You have to show your value and worth, and you have shine in the entire world by way of your research capabilities. And therefore, the science and technology, the research capabilities of students should be increased, and that should be one of the objectives also. Of course, there are most of the people who will be interested in the jobs. But what we are doing today is, by way of creating these people, they have got the knowledge, they have got the know-how, and they have got all sorts of education. And the IT has given them the benefits of knowing everything. But nothing is the unmixed blessing. They have got to know some other things also, and they have got to know about easy money also. With the result, on the one hand, if these people who do not get suitably rewarded, either by way of employment or by way of channelizing their talent and skill towards research activities, what is happening that they are going for easy money, and therefore there is growth of criminal activities into society. And you can see what is happening today. We are ashamed of.
Please make it in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Wind up in please 2 minutes, please.
So I will just give the points. Our Honorable Minister, Kapil Sibal, also said that teacher is not the depository of knowledge. There are other agencies also, there are other resources also, there are other tools also. Even the industries, they have got to know as to what is their requirement and what is required to be done, what is required to be taught. And therefore, those people who have got industrial experience should also be inducted into the academics. And that is how there can be a better coordination, better cooperation between academia and industries. I would strongly suggest that both NCERT, of course, will be responsible so far education, school education is concerned. But so far UGC is concerned, ACT is concerned, Government of India is concerned, or even the Planning Commission is concerned, the advisors to the Planning Commission is concerned, they must concentrate on this point, that this aspect also has got to be taken into consideration. Unless and until all of us, in a holistic approach and integrated manner, work on these, all the stakeholders join together, perhaps we will not be able to do justice to this cause of education in the society. Thank you.